Take a slow, completely natural breath and feel the absolute stillness of this protected room. You are entirely safe within this sacred space, and the terrifying weight has finally begun to lift. There will be no sudden changes in volume, no loud disruptions, and no mid-roll ads to shock your body. Your physical system is entering a neutral harbor where no harm can possibly reach your spirit tonight. I know the terrible exhaustion left behind by that sudden crushing wave of intense panic and fear. Your chest feels deeply bruised, your limbs are trembling, and your mind is completely drained from shock. I know this heavy darkness because I am lying awake in this same quiet room, seeking shelter to survive. Tonight, the phantom danger has vanished, and you are permitted to completely stop defending your life. We are closing the spiritual gates against that artificial storm, locking out the terrifying adrenaline. Let the steady, unhurried rhythm of the falling rain wash away the remaining tension in your chest. Your difficult battle for survival is officially over, and the protective night shield is now active. The invisible emergency has passed, your soul has survived, and you can rest without any conditions. Let us begin by acknowledging the cold, heavy residual shock lingering inside your tired muscles. Your heart is still recovering its natural rhythm after fighting an enemy that was never truly there. Your overstimulated brain is desperately searching for reasons, trying to anticipate the next sudden attack. But the divine presence has already cleared the air, transforming this room into a secure sanctuary. The invisible shadow has no scriptural power over your soul, allowing your hands to drop the armor. Listen to how the cooling drops of rain against the window pane defy the frantic urgency of panic. The water falls without anxiety, trusting the quiet law of gravity to guide it safely to the earth. Your exhausted nervous system is warmly invited to lean into this organic frequency of pure grace. The terrifying illusion that your physical body was breaking down is dissolving into the deep darkness. You are fully permitted to let the racing thoughts slow down at their own natural, unforced pace. Feel the comforting, thick density of the midnight air wrapping around your shoulders like a blanket. The desperate defensive reflex to monitor your own heartbeat is losing its frightening necessity right now. This holy moment is a firm anchor, a reminder that the storm has spent its last ounce of power. The chaotic, terrifying vibrations that shattered your peace are melting into the motionless shadows. You do not have to fix your broken energy tonight. You are allowed to just lie here and heal. There is a profound restorative medicine in realizing that the worst of the trial is completely over. No lingering echo of that panic can restart the fire while you are tucked beneath this divine canopy. Realizing your total safety is not a struggle. It is the most beautiful surrender your heart can make. You can finally stop running from the phantom shadows and accept the quiet reality of this room. The peaceful kingdom we are entering requires no strength from you, only your willingness to receive. Watch from a quiet, detached distance how your old fears try to maintain their cold grip on your skin. They whisper that if you lower your guard for a single second, the terrifying wave will return. But that is just the confused, broken static of a physical body that was forced to fight too hard. You can gently smile at that fading mechanism and whisper back that the divine protection is here. The loud, frantic alarms of your survival system are shutting down, their heavy gears turning silent. The deep, expanding ambient pads are smoothing out the raw, wounded spaces inside your nervous system. Where there used to be a tight, suffocating knot of pure terror, a cool emptiness is spreading. Your heart is slowly remembering its original design, beating in perfect harmony with the night. You are wrapped in an invisible cloak of absolute immunity, a sacred sanctuary from all earthly fear. The constant, draining need to protect your own life is melting into the dark, wet, and peaceful night. Let the immense physical weight of your limbs confess how deeply your inner spirit has been tested. You faced the ultimate illusion of danger and emerged from the fire completely unbroken and whole. Within the secure, unbreakable boundaries of this divine shelter, your only remaining duty is to breathe. The quiet air you inhale is pure, light, and entirely empty of the toxic static of hypervigilance. We are leaving the shores of trauma behind, moving steadily toward the silent, deep, and peaceful waters. Let us focus your entire attention on the gentle, natural rise and fall of your chest. The chaotic rhythm that fractured your body a few moments ago is losing its frantic grip. You do not need to force your lungs to take deep, heavy breaths to prove you are alive. The air in this quiet room flows organically, filling your spirit with divine, restorative power. Every slow exhalation is safely releasing the remaining pockets of trapped adrenaline from your blood. The terrifying illusion of immediate physical danger has been completely shattered by the light. Your heart is receiving a direct command from the Creator to return to its original peace. You are no longer trapped in that suffocating space where your own thoughts turned against you. The thick protective night shield is filtering out the residual echoes of that sudden panic. Your physical body is remembering how to rest, sinking beautifully into the soft mattress. Listen to how the steady, unhurried rhythm of the rain outside matches your stabilizing pulse. The dark sky is breathing with you, pouring out a continuous stream of pure, unconditional grace. The desperate fear of losing absolute control or slipping into madness is completely gone. It was merely a passing storm of the nervous system, a temporary shadow that has vanished. You are firmly anchored to the solid ground of reality, completely out of the enemy's reach. I know the cold, lingering numbness that tries to freeze your hands and your tired feet. I know the exhausting aftermath of a mind that has just fought for its literal survival. But you are completely allowed to stop monitoring every single heartbeat in this darkness. The Divine Watchman has taken over the guard duty, releasing you from your heavy vigilance. Your only remaining task in this sacred hour is to let go and trust the safety of this room. Let the deep, expanding ambient pads dissolve the tight constriction around your heavy throat. The air you breathe is cool, light, and entirely free from the toxic weight of anxiety. With every quiet moment that passes, the Divine Presence is rebuilding your broken boundaries. You are wrapped in an absolute sanctuary of immunity, where panic is structurally impossible. The sharp, vibrating frequency of fear is being thoroughly washed away by the falling rain. Your active ego has officially surrendered its frantic need to defend your physical life. It recognizes that the phantom crisis has dissolved, leaving only the immense quiet of the night. You do not have to analyze why the storm arrived or plan how to prevent it tomorrow. The future is completely hidden in God's hands, safely removed from your overstretched mind. You can leave the unwritten chapters of your recovery blank, trusting the current stillness. Feel the comforting warmth returning to your fingers as your circulation finds its balance. The heavy defensive muscles in your shoulders are finally releasing their tight daily grip. You are no longer the frightened victim of a sudden attack. You are a protected child of peace. The long shadows in the room are motionless and safe, mirroring the tranquility of your soul. The frantic machinery of survival has turned completely silent, its metallic gears at rest. The continuous soft sound of the rain is creating an absolute perimeter of isolation around you. It seals your room against the chaotic noises of the world and the heavy demands of society. You are hidden away in a secret cocoon of grace, where no earthly terror can find your name. The draining necessity to be strong and flawless has completely melted into the dark, wet night. Your spirit is stepping away from the analytical intellect, moving toward pure, unforced rest. The residual tremors of the panic attack are growing fainter, disappearing into the dark void. They are turning into meaningless, distant memories that can no longer disturb your deep peace. The vast gates of a restorative, healing sleep are opening wide to welcome your tired soul. The divine fortress will remain absolutely firm, holding the entire universe at bay while you rest. Your breathing is perfectly calm, your heart is secure, and the sacred stillness has won the battle. Step completely over the threshold into this vast, quiet sanctuary of divine stillness. This is the one sacred room where your trembling soul is instantly wrapped in absolute grace. The lingering shock that shattered your confidence a few hours ago has no authority here. The immense, loving presence of the Creator has driven the final shadows of terror from the room. In this deep darkness, your fragile state is not judged. It is met with infinite protection. Let the heavy, invisible armor you wore during that frantic struggle fall softly away. You do not need to prove your strength or hide your vulnerability from this magnificent silence. The quiet room accepts the broken rhythms, the residual fear, and the shallow breathing in your chest. You are warmly permitted to be completely still, completely safe, and completely restored. The desperate need to shield yourself has ended, leaving only the calm reality of divine love. I know the terrible isolation of feeling like your own physical body has betrayed your trust. I know how terrifying it is to watch your mind spin out of control while the world stays quiet. But right here, in this shared stillness, you are allowed to completely release that heavy burden. You are not required to monitor your survival tonight. Your safety has been fully guaranteed. The strong walls of this sanctuary are holding the chaotic memories of panic infinitely far away. Listen to how the continuous, rhythmic falling of the rain validates your need for deep recovery. The rain does not demand any answers from your intellect. It just pours out an ocean of peace. Your wounded nervous system is absorbing this pure, heavenly frequency of safety with every breath. The sharp, vibrating echoes of that sudden adrenaline surge are being gently washed into the earth. Where there used to be a tight knot of physical terror, a beautiful softness is expanding. Let your consciousness drift like a weightless leaf down into the cooling pool of divine grace. You are moving far away from the superficial fears of the world and your temporary anxieties. The terrifying illusions of danger that gripped your heart have completely lost their narrow focus. You are returning to the original pure design that existed before fear ever touched your spirit. The infinite security of this velvet vacuum is wrapping around your weary soul like a shield. Watch how your remaining thoughts try to tell you that the panic might return at any second. That is just the outdated, frantic programming of a physical body that has forgotten how to rest. You can gently breathe through that fading echo, refusing to give it your valuable energy tonight. The deep, expanding ambient pads are swallowing the last residual vibrations of that internal shock. The space between your eyes is softening, releasing the invisible grip of that intense pressure. Every slow breath you draw into your lungs is an unconditional gift of life from the Creator. You do not have to fight for your survival anymore. You are being sustained by pure grace. Allow the heavy gravity of the bed to pull the deep-seated exhaustion completely out of your back. Your physical body is turning into a quiet channel for this continuous, soothing stream of peace. The boundaries of your skin are melting into the dark room, blending perfectly with the quietness. The frantic urgency to heal your nervous system before the morning sun arrives has died away. Tomorrow will handle its own complexities, and its events are entirely outside your control right now. Surrendering your need for absolute certainty is the ultimate medicine your heart has been crying for. You are safe to let the unwritten chapters of your future remain completely dark and unvisited. The peaceful kingdom of divine rest is opening its wide gates, inviting your soul to step inside. My voice is becoming a distant, warm echo that floats gently on the edge of your fading awareness. It is changing into a harmless part of the rain, a soft reminder that you are never truly alone. The sanctuary is fully built, the fortress is holding firm, and your mind is completely protected. Yield entirely to the magnificent, heavy darkness that is calling you down into the deepest peace. The noise of panic is gone, and only the beautiful, quiet rhythm of your resting soul remains. The majestic night protection shield is now fully activated and floating directly over your quiet bedroom. This brilliant barrier of absolute peace completely isolates your resting mind from the ghost of fear. Any lingering thoughts of that sudden physical crisis are softly bouncing off its defensive surface. The sharp, invisible arrows of your residual anxiety can no longer penetrate this thick perimeter. You are beautifully hidden away from the traumatic shock, wrapped inside a cocoon of absolute safety. Let the heavy shadow of that recent panic attack dissolve into the continuous sound of rain. Your overstimulated brain has spent hours trying to find a reason for that sudden wave of terror. But the midnight hour has officially declared a total moratorium on all your mental investigations. You are not required to analyze your nervous system tonight in order to feel secure in this dark. My warm voice is standing as a vigilant guard at the gates, turning away every frightened thought. Feel the physical relief as the heavy, invisible armor around your solar plexus completely uncoils. The constant, painful tension of trying to protect your own heartbeat is leaving your quiet chest. You do not have to hold your breath anymore. The dark gravity of the earth has taken the full weight. Your tired body is no longer an emergency zone. It is just pure, resting energy in God's hands. The bed beneath you is absorbing your exhaustion, sinking you down into a limitless, dark ocean. Listen to how the deep, expanding ambient pads are smoothing over the rough edges of your mind. Every slow, rhythmic breath you take is drawing the cooling essence of this sanctuary into your lungs. You are safely stepping completely outside of your human history, your fears, and your daily identity. The heavy expectations that the world placed on your shoulders are melting into the motionless shadows. There is no danger in this room, no one to watch your recovery, and nothing more to defend tonight. The desperate, anxious habit of monitoring your own breathing is losing its necessity in this darkness. You can gently drop the exhausting project of trying to fix your body before the morning sun comes. The quiet world is spinning perfectly without your control, leaving you completely free to just exist. Your weary mind is warmly invited to leave the unwritten chapters of your future entirely untouched. The threshold of a deep, restorative sleep is right before you, waiting for your soft surrender. Watch from a safe, detached distance how your old memories try to whisper that you are still unsafe. That is just the echo of an exhausted nervous system that has been running on high alert for too long. You can look at that defensive mechanism with deep compassion and tell it that the shift is over. The heavy, loud machinery of your daily survival has ground to a complete halt in this stillness. Only the pure, untroubled silence remains, wrapping your consciousness in a heavy blanket of rest. The narrow, tight spaces inside your skull are beautifully opening up and expanding tonight. Where there used to be a sharp knot of physical terror, a magnificent and safe emptiness is spreading. You are wrapped in an invisible cloak of absolute non-responsibility, a sacred vacation from panic. The constant draining need to justify your existence through your strength is completely gone. Your breathing has found its own ancient, unforced cadence, synchronizing with the falling rain. Let the comforting density of the dark air settle over your face, releasing the tension in your eyes. Your weary jaw is relaxing completely, dropping the invisible mask you wore during that frantic crisis. You are no longer the active manager of your body. You are a silent passenger in this holy night. The demanding roles you played for society have dissolved into the vast and quiet texture of this room. You are allowed to be completely quiet, completely imperfect, and beautifully protected in this space. My velvet voice is growing smaller now, drifting far away into the rich, dark background pads. It is changing into a harmless, distant murmur that gently carries your spirit toward the deep void. The sanctuary is fully built. The fortress is silent, and your mind is completely free from judgment. Yield entirely to the magnificent gravity of sleep, letting the dark waters close over your thoughts. The long journey through the mental storm is officially over, and you are finally arriving home. The final boundaries of your analytical mind are completely softening into this velvet void. You are stepping off the last remaining shores of fear and entering the deep waters. There is no longer an inner terror to silence, as the panic itself has dissolved into darkness. The long, exhausting trial of your physical survival has reached its absolute and permanent conclusion. Your spirit is beautifully weightless, drifting effortlessly into the wide arms of the night. Let the continuous, comforting rhythm of the rain take complete ownership of this quiet room. The wet drops against the glass are singing a dark lullaby to your weary nervous system. You have successfully laid down every single weapon, every defense, and every heavy memory. The sanctuary has completely absorbed your presence, leaving only the soft cadence of your breath. It is entirely safe to surrender your remaining awareness to this magnificent, clean emptiness. I know how deeply your soul has been crying out for this exact moment of total release. I know the beautiful relief of finally knowing that you do not have to fight to breathe tonight. The heavy rolls, the residual shock, and the exhausting adrenaline are completely gone. You are floating in a safe, warm vacuum where human fears have no meaning or power. The protective night shield is standing firm, sealing your consciousness in a capsule of peace. Feel the immense, dark gravity of the earth pulling you down into the deepest layers of rest. Your physical body has turned completely hollow, a quiet vessel for this soothing ambient wash. every muscle in your face, your tired jaw, and your eyes have completely given up the fight. The narrow, anxious spaces of your daily life are widening into an infinite, silent universe. You are perfectly anonymous, perfectly hidden, and perfectly ready to let everything go. The urgent need to understand or fix your nervous system has vanished into the shadows of the bed. Tomorrow remains a distant, unwritten chapter that cannot touch your profound stillness right now. You have paid all your debts to the daylight hours, and your soul is completely clean. Let the deep, expanding ambient pads submerge the last drifting fragments of your human thoughts. The line between your quiet mind and the beautiful night is fading into nothingness. My voice is growing incredibly small now, melting slowly into the continuous sound of the rain. It is changing from a conscious stream of words into a soft, comforting vibration of safety. You do not need to listen to the specific meanings anymore. Just follow the gentle rhythm. The fortress of your rest is unbreakable, and you are being carried away by a dark tide. The long, heavy journey through the mental noise is over, and your mind is resting. Sink down through the soft cushions of awareness into the dreamless, beautiful depths of sleep. Let the heavy, velvety darkness close completely over the last spark of your active intellect. You are entirely safe, unconditionally loved, and completely protected by this magnificent silence. The internal courtroom is empty, the judge is asleep, and the panic has vanished forever. Yield your entire spirit to the beautiful gravity of this endless, restorative night. Sleep. Let the deep, quiet waters of a perfect rest wash over your tired limbs and chest. Sleep. The rain will continue to watch over your room, holding the chaotic world infinitely far away. Sleep. Sleep. The night shield is active, and your mind is completely free from the shadow of judgment. Sleep. Lose yourself entirely in this magnificent, safe void where only peace remains. Sleep.